County Talk, back with our second weekly roundup. It's been quite a busy week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, sort of early to mid-week. We were messaging each other sort of saying, we're not going to have much to talk about this week, might have to skip it. And then, lo and behold, lots of news came through, lots of positive news at that. Maybe one little knock, but we'll get straight into it with the first bit of news of the week was Jake Reeves. I'm quite impressed by that signing.
Yeah.
Very impressed. We made a little clip, didn't we? You look through that and the position that he's playing, determination.
The thing that strikes me is he makes space for himself.
Yeah.
Like he seems to have this like little signature move where he'll dart one way, step over the ball. The strikers at this level haven't got the sort of the willingness to close down a defensive midfielder that they think's not going to cause much danger.
Yeah.
Jake Reeves, every clip we've put up, he's pinging it over the top, left, right, in very dangerous areas, putting just enough weight on it. So for me, that's something we've been missing. Doyle's got good passing range, but Reeves seems to have just that bit extra.
Yeah, that accuracy that I feel like would work very well with Wharton, like you say, too.
Yeah, definitely. And with Cal Roberts and Enzio could get in behind as well.
Yeah.
Because if he sees those passes and they're confident, I don't think we saw much of that last season because they didn't have the outlet to cross the ball and put it wide.
When you look over him as well, obviously he was at Bradford, wasn't he? Played 15, 16 games last season. They actually bought him, didn't they, from Wimbledon when Ardley was in charge. I think it was 150,000. So for me, for us to be getting in a player like that for free, who was, so we've been told, one of the best players in League One at his time, if we can get him back up to standard like Ardley said, I think we've got a real gem.
Resale value.
That's
what every player we've got. They are not overpaying. That's when clubs get into a mess.
Yeah.
When you start buying players at this level for 100,000 and the resale value is 20, you bought players like Wootton, was it 60?
Yep.
Worth 3 times that now. Roberts, don't know what we paid for him, but worth more than we paid. So yeah, that's good. And also I've been doing a bit of research and looking at a few forums. Apparently his work rate is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that signing, and I think if we keep him fit, he's possibly the first name on the team sheet.
Yeah, 100%.
So Reeves came in, very good. Then the only real downer of the week, Christian Dennis has gone to St Mirren. I had him at the start of the season for top scorer in our little prediction. He wasn't far off.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't, but still, I mean,
no, he did well.
A lot of people thought he would leave.
Yeah.
It was Hemmings that left at the time. Dennis is natural poacher. What a player.
The natural poacher goal for me that sticks out was the semi-final against Barnet. That header just from nothing.
Came from nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's going to be missed because what did he get? 12, 13 goals maybe all season. Look at the finishes in that. He's got, like you said, the natural poacher one. There was a game at home, I can't remember, but the keeper's come off his line and he's sort of side of the box and he's chipped it over him.
Yeah.
He's got the one against Chorley where his back's to goal, and he's literally taken one touch and spun on it. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to be missed, but
I think he'll be a real asset to St Mirren. If he's getting the week in week out games, I think he'll get plenty of goals for him. But it'd be interesting to see how he fares in that league, I think.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Hemmings went and got like 16. I think he'll be a good player. So what that does lead me to think is that it's going to be a change of formation.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Because we've got Wootton, very good. Thomas, very good. Who else up front?
That's it, right?
So I think it's going to be a young player, possibly. Max on Twitter has asked us to come up with a couple of players who we think could replace him. I've already said, not sure if he's been snapped up now, but Gozi Ugwu from Ebbsfleet got 13 goals. I think he'd come in and he wouldn't necessarily want to be a starter, which is good because I don't think we can sign a player that wants to be a starter.
Yeah. Because
if we are changing formation, we can't have him. Other than that, you've got to look at maybe a lone player from a League One club, a lone player from a League Two club that's hungry and wants to get a goal.
Yeah.
But do we need?
I don't really think we do. I don't think it's something we're going to be scrambling to fill, because I do feel like Thomas and Wootton would sort of fit the formation that we both have in mind. So I think if maybe one of them get injured, we might scramble to get a replacement. But I might be wrong. But I do think they might just leave it with 2 strikers.
And a young lad.
Yeah, and a young lad. Like bring a young lad in that will be like in and around the squad. But
we've seen how good they can be. I know I've referred to him quite a lot lately, but Graham, he was a young player that had nothing to really lose. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Bagan. I mean, we've seen we can attract players from Prem and Championship clubs on loan.
Yeah.
So if we can get a striker, and clubs are going to look at Notts and they might think, right, this is a team that don't want to jinx anything, but should be right up there this season. They're going to want to send a player to them.
Mm-hmm.
Or a team that inquires down the bottom. Who are you going to pick? You're going to send your player to Notts, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's obviously it's better for those players to go through sort of the motions of a positive season, and a team pulling in the right direction. But yeah, that's it really, isn't it, for Dennis? We will move on to Kelly Evans signing a new deal. Very happy about this one, weren't we?
He's got to be. If you got an average of all our player ratings over this season, I'm sure he's top.
Yeah, we love him, don't we? His bravery, he's just everything you want, isn't he? And I think he might not be the tallest, but he makes up for it in every other strength he has, doesn't he?
He was battering a striker that was like 6 foot. I don't know who he played for, but we were sat there watching it. I think I'm going to make a shout here. Other than central midfield, I reckon right backs are. No, I'm going to say right back is the most difficult to pick, but also the best strength in depth, because you never really have 3 full-backs. You have 2, don't you?
Yeah. Strong
as anything.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the weakest side is currently left back. But I'm happy with either of them playing, and they both bring out the best in each other. Kelly Evans and Brindley.
Yeah.
Signing of the summer. Signing of the summer. Dion Kelly Evans, what a player. Happy with that. And then Notts have been handling it well on Twitter, haven't they? They've been quote tweeting people. Someone asked another player coming in, they said familiar face. Well, that spot, Notts fans, some were thinking, is it Sheehan? Some were thinking, is it Bishop?
He retired actually, didn't he? Did you see that today?
Yeah. Some were thinking, was it Bishop as the assistant manager? Because he's recently completed his UEFA licence, UEFA licences, so that could have been a shout. But no, Greg Abbott. But it got mixed reviews, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I think you've got to look at it in a positive light. I do. I think we've got Ardley, who we know. Like Abbott actually said it in his interview when he got the job, that he's one of the game's good guys, and I think 2 people like that are obviously good people, working together, if they're pulling in the same direction, I feel like it's just going to click,
Yeah, and there's a quite a lot of worry about if he had a lot of insight into transfers when he was here, and like signing a few players that were flopped. I don't know how much insight an assistant manager can have. But at the same time, that's not going to be an issue now, because it's done via, we think, Football Radar and a lot of scouting. So he's a character. You've got to trust what the Danes are doing, because what decision have they got wrong yet? I don't personally think any, because we overachieved last season. Every player that's come in pretty much did what they were asked to do. So trust them and get behind them. And it's always good to have a character in the dressing room, because I think Coxey was a bit of a character.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And he was liked, and I think the players will get on with Abbott. So
before we move on, I would like to say one thing that didn't impress me about the interview that he gave. He was saying that he was being shown around and he was impressed how far we'd come in terms of the facilities that we have, training ground, in the back room, where all the players go to get treated, how much it's come along. And when you think about that, when he was in charge, we're in League One. Well, when he was the assistant, we're in League One. And obviously we're in the National League now. So for him to come in and say that, and he said that when he was being walked around, he pretty much made his mind up, and he said, let's get this club back to where we want it. So I think it's positive.
Yeah, definitely. I can see the Danes, we haven't seen it yet, but I can see them being ruthless, and if things aren't working, they'll sort it straight away. Because when you've got this model that we think they've got, where it's all about making money, you don't take risks. You just sort it. So yeah, all good for me. And then that led us to another video they put up of a medical. The Twitter's unbelievable. Some of the Notts fans literally had found out who it was by his tattoo. Casper Sloth. Well, he's been at Leeds. He's played 8 games for Denmark, but he's fallen from grace. It's like 50 games in the last 5 years or something, maybe a few more, but this is the most unknown for me, more than Rodriguez, even though he's been in England.
It feels like a stab in the dark, this one, doesn't it? Because like you say, it looks like he's on sort of the downward spiral of his career, definitely. But are we the club that lifts him back up and gets him, back into relatively good form? Who knows? But hopefully we are, And
I think he was wanted by Bundesliga clubs. I think Hanover at one point in his career and Wolfsburg. He was training just last season, I believe, pre-season with Philadelphia Union in the MLS. I mean, the standard of MLS is better than National League.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's better than League Two. There's some really good players in that league, and he's training with them. He's not made it. Like I've already said, he's been an international. He's got to resurrect his career, and this is the last chance. I mean, you've got to be confident in yourself, because you can't be coming thinking, if I fail at National League, someone else will pick me up. No, they're not going to. If you've been linked with teams in the Bundesliga and you're at National League level, you're done after this.
But that's the good thing. I do think that Ardley and Abbott will do that. I think they're going to just install a lot of trust in you, give you some self-belief to rise yourself back up. And I just think that partnership's going to work really well for those kind of players.
I think we've done a bit. We like to do our research on these players best we can. I mean, some of the articles are in Danish and all this, and we have to hope that Google Translate works and things like that. He's complete opposite from Reeves, from what we gather. He's not got the work rate of Reeves, but he is more of a player that wants to drive forward with the ball.
Yeah.
So we're signing players that are complementing each other.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the midfield now. We've gone from O'Brien, Doyle and Rose. Crawford, who, yes, he was very good at the end, but I was thinking today, driving along, if I had to rate these players, not his careers, you're looking at Crawford's a 3 out of 10 for the whole career.
Yeah.
And Regan Booty that just was never fit. And all of a sudden we've got Doyle, O'Brien, Sloth, Reeves and Rodriguez. Sloth's going to come in. He's not an automatic starter. If you look at his past career, his past few years, he's probably behind Rodriguez. He's behind Reeves. He's got loads to prove. So it's a good signing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, really good. So not so currently, as we're filming this, doing the
season
awards. So we'll go through ours really quick. Goal of the season, Brinley.
Put me on the spot. Yeah, no, Brinley. No, Doyle.
Fair enough. Save of the season, gotta be Fitzsimmons' penalty. It wasn't a great save, but the guy's come back on loan from Chesterfield.
Yeah, you'll never get a story like that again, will you?
Saved a penalty and then never played again, I don't think. That's unbelievable. I'll put these all up on Twitter. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Player of the season.
Who's yours?
Wotton. 18 in all competitions.
Yeah, we'll go Wotton. Golden Boot, you can't not give it him, I think.
Signing of the season.
Roberts. Could be Lacey.
Lacey, because I'm looking ahead of what he's going to be.
Okay.
And team performance of the season, Barrow. Gotta
100%,
be.
yeah.
100%, because they were working on different tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So hopefully this time next week, when we do our weekly roundup, we've got a left back, maybe a young striker, energetic striker, and I can't see much else we need. If you think there's anyone else we need, any more positions we need to strengthen, maybe a centre back, let us know in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching.